It's not just for our company, but for all companies in this space. Something really significant happened in the last 6 to 9 months, and that is with the adoption of the ETF, there's been a psychic shift, a psychological shift amongst institutional investors. This is now an industry. And well, we all thought it was an industry for a long period of time.
Yeah.
You know, people are lending us money unsecured. We've got phones ringing off the hook with potential partnerships. Every big institution is figuring out what tokenization is going to mean to them. And so I have more confidence today than any time in the last 10 years of being in crypto that in 12 months and in 24 months, more institutions will be engaged in this space and the space will be bigger. That doesn't mean the price goes up every month or every quarter. Right? We started this quarter at 73,000. Today we're at 65,000 6 weeks in. And for all of our businesses, for Galaxy's business and for everyone else's business in this space, unlike most businesses outside of crypto, the activity level, the revenue, the excitement is very correlated to one asset, right? Bitcoin goes up, other crypto goes up, your staking revenue goes up, your asset management revenue goes up, your trading volumes pick up. And so we are still going to be correlated to the volatility and direction of the corn.
It's fascinating to see the impact of the ETF adoption and the psychological shift it has created among institutional investors. As Mike mentioned, this shift has been crucial for the growth of the crypto industry. Over the past 6 to 9 months, we've seen a substantial increase in interest and activity from big institutions. This isn't just a trend, it's a transformation that's here to stay. In addition to this, the correlation between Bitcoin's price movements and the overall market activity highlights the unique dynamics of the crypto space. As Bitcoin goes up, we see an increase in trading volumes, staking revenues, and asset management activities. This volatility is something that all businesses in the crypto industry, including Galaxy Digital, must navigate. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give us a like to stay updated with all our latest videos.
This whole space is a narrative space. And what I mean by that, it's a storytelling space. Well, I'm good at this space. I'm a good storyteller. We need good traders. We need good but storytelling is a big part of it. And it's going to be a big part of it until the protocols that are built on top of the blockchains are being used in everyday life. And there's a revenue that comes out of them, not just a story. Right now, it's the story of what they might do. And you need use cases and proof of concepts to help those stories go along. But we're in a narrative business. So we had great narratives for the last 9 months. The ETF is coming. Larry Fink is endorsing this. Not just Larry Fink, but 10 other giant TradeFi companies getting into the ETF space. The halving was coming. And oh, by the way, Chairman Powell's going to cut 8 times. We got 2 of the 3. Chairman Powell's probably not going to cut for a while.
Right.
In the last few days, you've seen fixed income rally, cryptos take off again. We were at 57, then 61, and now we're at 65. Gold making record highs, silver making record highs, copper making record highs. So there's a resurgence of the, oh my God, the economy's slowing down narrative, which will be helpful. Like I said yesterday, I don't think Bitcoin takes out the old high, the 73,000 high, unless we get the Fed in action or we get some big regulatory breakthrough.
Yeah.
And those are both probably low delta. So that's why I think we're a bit of a range.
Yeah.
I said 65, 75. It's a pretty big range. I'm sorry, 55, 75.
It's a pretty big
It's
range.
probably closer to 57, 73. Like we've probably put the low and the high in right now until the next move. And I do believe the next move is up because I do think we're going to get closer to the election. Powell's going to want to cut rates.
Yeah. Yeah. It makes sense. And yeah, people have been getting very concerned. I want to ask you this too about the broader American debt and fiscal and I mean, I wouldn't say so much monetary policy. I mean, except it does feel like the market and regular people have started to learn that the Fed is printing money out of thin air. Like that, that story is propagated. But how worried are you long term about?
I am, as an American and as a patriot, petrified. Matter of fact, I met 2 days ago with 2 U.S. senators, one Republican in the office, one Republican, one Democrat. I spent an hour on the phone with a congressman yesterday. I'm having another meeting with a senator. And you know, I have a bunch of different interests.
Yeah.
Right now, I talk about 2 things, crypto regulation and the goddamn debt. And they're at odds with each other. If we had an administration, Biden or Trump, that addressed this 26% of GDP federal budget, which should be 20%, it would not be good for Bitcoin. And so having really crappy policymakers and profligate spenders and populists in Washington, great for my net worth.
Yeah, because it draws a comparison to Bitcoin, right?
Well, that's just the story of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is going up for the same reason gold is going up. It's gone up faster because we're a newer technology, we're a newer commodity,
right,
and therefore the adoption cycle is happening faster.
What do you make of this? The gold ETFs have had like net outflows this year, but gold spot has been rising.
It's interesting. We were just talking about this at lunch. There's been $200 billion of individual buying of gold. I mean, Costco sells $200 million.
It's pretty amazing, Costco. Yeah,
we have a podcast, Business Untitled, and we had one guy call us up. He loved our podcast. He wanted to sponsor us. JM Bullion.
Yep, I've seen those ads. Yeah.
They're the largest, seller of gold coins, and they gave us gold coins to give our guests.
It's amazing
because they like I'm bullish gold. They like our shtick. I love JM Bullion for doing it because it's nice to have a sponsor.
Yeah. So do you think that just as if the ETFs are seeing outflows, is it more coming from either physical or then maybe foreign central banks and stuff? They don't buy the ETFs.
So foreign central banks are buying gold at record pace, right?
Yeah.
China, they're all buying gold, partly because, when the U.S. kicked Russia in the knees after the war started with Ukraine, I think people said, wait a minute, the U.S. can actually take our dollars?
Or they seize the reserves and stuff,
And so I'm going to look into this ETF. We were just talking about this.
Yeah, it's an interesting question.
It is interesting.
Yeah, because part of me was thinking, when you think of younger people, let's say a hedge on the dollar or the whatever it is,
Bitcoin.
Probably picking Bitcoin and not gold. And also, if you look at it as a growth story and not a hedge, then you also would pick Bitcoin and not gold. But of course, foreign central banks. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. The dollar has not been. It's stronger than all the other currencies. There's no doubt about that. They all look pretty bad.
And it's starting to weaken a little bit right now.
Yeah.
Listen, what's happening is really fascinating in that, so every country, let's just talk about the U.S., you have a central bank, ideally an independent central banker, so that's Jay Powell, and you have a treasury, which is a arm of the executive branch, right, and plays in unison with the Congress that set budgets and spend money. Right? Congress has to spend the money. Janet Yellen is going to go down as the worst Treasury Secretary of my lifetime, which shocks me because she was a civil servant. She's a nice lady. She was a decent central bank, but she's become a political actor and saying nothing about running this giant deficit. All social projects that you might agree with, but with no counterbalance of cut. And so we're just spending more money than we have. And she is manipulating the yield curve with an invisible yield curve control, right? Issuing in the front, less in the back. And Powell is working in unison with her.
Yeah.
So there's this unholy alliance, which is creating a false sense of stability in the fixed income market or a manufactured sense of stability in the fixed income market. But that release valve, you see it in gold, silver perfectly, and it should help Bitcoin a lot.
Yeah.
And equities. You got to buy equities on every dip because that's where the release valve is.
Yeah.
And so we're going to keep nominal growth growing higher than the inflation rate. And inflation's not going to come back down as fast as people want it to. That helps you inflate away your debt. Yeah. But it's just a longer term bull case for stocks, real estate, Bitcoin, silver, gold, all these hard assets.
As Mike pointed out, the crypto industry is heavily driven by narratives. The stories we tell about the potential and future applications of blockchain technology are crucial in driving adoption and investment. This narrative-driven approach will continue to be significant until the protocols and applications built on blockchains become an integral part of our daily lives, generating real revenue. Over the past 9 months, we've seen strong narratives around the ETF approval and the involvement of major traditional finance companies in the crypto space. These stories have helped propel the market forward, even amid regulatory uncertainties and macroeconomic challenges. Thank you for joining us on Unscripted Crypto. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to stay informed about the latest trends and insights in the crypto world. See you next time.